Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie, and today I'm participating in a collaboration hosted by Kimberly Davis from the channel Diva Designing on a Dime, along with several other talented ladies. Everyone's channel will be listed in the description box below. So for this collaboration, we were challenged to spend no more than $10 to upcycle an item we already owned. I spent $0 on my project. So come along and party with me as I share my new laundry bar. So I have been meaning to spruce up my laundry room for quite some time because I really needed some motivation to do one of my least favorite tasks. So when I started thinking about the overall design and feel of this space, I knew I wanted something that would reflect my personality. So I thought, and thought, and thought. Then my aha moment came. Carrie is all about celebrating, so let's have a party in the laundry room. So let me take you around my space. First, I took the tray that I normally keep on my coffee table. It was a perfect size to house everything that I needed on my bar. So let's start over here with these 3 small containers. If you recall from our previous video, when I did a Dollar Tree organization haul, I picked up these little glass jars from the Dollar Tree. And this first one here has clothespins in it. And actually this is just here for YouTube purposes, so it can look cute and pretty. But actually I won't be housing clothespins in here. It would actually be buttons and my small sewing kit from the Dollar Tree, but I only had 3 buttons in here at the time, so I just took that out. So I'm going to erase that in the future and just put my buttons back in. And this jar right here has baking soda, and I use a lot of baking soda to make a DIY stain remover, so that is, what I'll actually keep in there. And then this one back here is our change. When I find change in the pockets and stuff, I put them in the jar. And again, I just filled this up with, our other change bucket just so that it can look like we had some money. But in all actuality, there was only 3 nickels and 2 dimes in here. Now next up are these old-fashioned bottles, and again the Dollar Tree are selling these now, but I usually use the ones that I get from the Lenora Lemonade, but these right here are the 3 Dollar Tree ones that I picked up. And in here I just actually poured in some bleach in one of them. I put some Downy fabric softener in another, and I'm also keeping here on the bar cart this little dessert cup, the little glass miniature dessert cup, and this is the perfect size to pour out the correct amount of fabric softener to put in the wash. So this will be on the bar cart. And here in the back is the white vinegar. This is my holy grail. If you've ever left laundry in the wash, forgot to take it out, and it smelled mildew, run it through a cycle of white vinegar, and I promise you it will just knock that smell right out. White vinegar is probably my most favorite cleaning product. The next item on my bar cart is this cute little vintage soap box. I picked this up about 3 years ago in a thrift shop. I thought this was a handmade box, but I just recently, about a month ago, saw this exact same box in Home Goods, and they were selling it for $12.99. So I got a steal on that, and I love the lid because it has the old-fashioned hot and cold, knobs on it. So let's take a look inside to see what I have in here. So inside I have my Gain dryer sheets. So if I'm not using the Downy fabric softener, I will use the Gain dryer sheets. And I also have my dryer balls. And then I have my set of measuring spoons from the Dollar Tree, and I will be using these to make my little DIY stain removers as I need it. And then I also have a small, this again is a Dollar Tree denture brush, and this is really good for getting out those stains when you have to rub out a stubborn stain. And I also have another small Dollar Tree travel size toothbrush, again for rubbing out and blotting out those stains. And then over here, I just took one of my beverage dispensers and I filled it with my Tide, and this is how I will dispense my laundry detergent. And I like this dispenser because the bottom, this galvanized bucket, you can take the dispenser out, flip it over, and it can be used. It's technically supposed to be used for an ice bucket when you're serving drinks. But since I do not have running water or sink in my laundry room, I can use this to kind of soak any items that need to, a stain that needs to be pre-treated or soaked, or anything that needs to sit in bleach. And here's a little glass votive candle holder, and this is the perfect size to dispense the washing powder that I need. Now let's talk about this dispenser for laundry detergent. I actually tried to try this out before I showed it to you guys to make sure that it was actually functional. I didn't want you all saying, oh Carrie, this is such a cool idea, and then you go and do it and it does not work. So let me tell you what actually works and what doesn't work. Once I use up this laundry detergent that's in here, I probably will not use this dispenser any longer. And the reason that I probably won't use this again is because when I try to dispense the liquid, you see how slowly it comes out? And in order for me to get enough, liquid, it will take me about 5 minutes to get that cup to the right amount. And I do not have that much time. I already hate doing laundry, so I want to be able to just pour and go. So if you have the time to just kind of waste because you want things to look cute, then go ahead and use this method. But if you want to get in there and get out like me, don't use this. So I think what I'm going to do is get a cup size measuring spoon and just kind of dip the measuring spoon down in there to scoop out the correct amount, dump it into my wash, and once this is used up, I'm going to have to come up with something else. As you can see, it is still going. So it took about a minute for it to reach the amount that I would actually need to pour into my laundry, and that just takes too long. I guess what you can do is just sit it down there and let it start flowing while you are doing something else, but you run the risk of it running over. So I don't know. The jury is still out on this. I don't know if I'm going to use this. Now, when using beverage dispensers, whether it's going to be for laundry detergent or for beverages, always put something underneath to catch the drips. So when I remove the laundry detergent, this will still probably drip a few drips of the detergent, and so I don't want it to ruin my tray. Although the tray does have wax on it, I like to put down, this is a little container top from the Dollar Tree, one of our little small containers that we use for salad dressing, and this will just catch any drips. And then I also just put in this little faux topiary ball that I've had forever. And the final piece to my bar that I absolutely love is I took this little rustic frame that I already had and I made a laundry bar sign. So it says laundry bar, and then it's a list of the most common stains that we get in our home. And what I did was I just made drinks and then actually wrote how to get the stain out. So for example, we have a Bloody Mary, and that's just blood stains. And so I just, write the directions on how I clean blood out of our clothes. We rinse in cool water, scrub with Tide, and then we launder. That usually gets blood stains out. If not, you can move on to other methods. And Long Island iced tea. You guys know I do my quality time, so I often get tea and coffee stains on things. And so this is how I would get out my tea and coffee stains. And then we have the chocolate martini, which, is chocolate stains. And then down here is the blue Hawaiian. And the blue Hawaiian are ink stains, and a lot of times, my husband or my kids would leave a pen in their pockets or something like that, and the pen would explode. So this is how you get, ink out. And then red wine or grape juice. And down here at the bottom is my Miracle Mixer, which is a DIY stain remover. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please be sure to go and check out the other ladies' videos. And until next time, I'm going to keep calm and carry on. Bye guys.